Alright guys and girls, I haven't recorded a video in a long time and I wanted to put one up, but I also wanted to talk about classic World of Warcraft. And what we're looking at right now is a video by Force Gaming, who's a streamer that I actually are a game YouTuber that I actually like quite a bit. And he's actually, I didn't get a chance to play the classic WoW from BlizzConn because I was actually in Tennessee on vacation, so I wasn't able to be around for that. But just watch, I want to show some of his clips and just show you how interesting it is to see someone who obviously hasn't played vanilla World of Warcraft probably since he originally played it, back in 2004 or 2005. It's just interesting, so let's check it out.
The classic servers hit okay.
He's stoked.
Oh my god, it's seriously like stepping into a time machine. Well, it's pretty much official now. After playing the WoW Classic demo, I can tell you that when this thing comes out, I'm gonna disappear. I played it for the period after BlizzCon that we had the chance to check out WoW Classic, and the best way to describe it is that I lost my mind. I'm
so excuse me. He really liked the demo, and he's really excited about it. And he goes on to talk in several parts of this video about how he thinks all his friends will actually all be playing the same game for maybe a month at a time because he thinks they're all going to be playing classic World of Warcraft. I would also like to bring up Nixium, who did a video on vanilla World of Warcraft, where he's talking about, he read in a post or some sort of article somewhere that Blizzard is thinking about putting in loot sharing, which he said was a bad idea, and I totally agree. If they're going to do classic WoW, they need to keep it the same as the original game. And so loot sharing is when you loot an item. If you accidentally loot an item off a boss, you have like a couple hours timer to where you can actually trade it to someone who was in your party and say, oh, I took the mage's dagger and I'm a rogue, and an hour later I can still have the option of trading that dagger to that mage. That's going to take away ninja looters, and whether you like ninja looters or not, it's part of what made classic World of Warcraft classic World of Warcraft. But even more concerning was the sharding idea. They were talking about sharding classic servers. If they do that, and the sharding is when you basically have 2 or 3 or 4 different servers that could basically the players could jump back and forth between those different servers. So if I'm on one, let's think of it as one server, and it's got 5 different shards, and I'm on shard A, and someone else is on shard B, and I go to Westfall, and the network architecture determines that shard A is too busy. They might throw me off of shard A into shard B. So let's say I zone into an area over in Westfall or something, or I happen to land. Let's say I'm on a Griffin ride, and I land. When I land, it throws me onto shard B, because it says, oh, you know what? As you're going through the air, I realize that Westfall is way too overpopulated, but Shard B is not, so I'm going to throw you there. Well, that's going to totally ruin classic WoW, simply because part of what made it so fun and challenging was fighting for mobs and having to group together with people, and maybe even trying to steal mobs from people. It's what made it, hunters such a pain in the ass. So that's something I definitely don't want to see, and I hope they don't do that. But let's get back to Force here, and he talks about, I'm going to try to jump through here a little bit when he gets into Westfall, because he forgets about, how the talents work and everything, and it's just funny to listen to him talk about it.
I can't handle this, that Blizzard actually did it, those bad lads. Oh, I'm trying to remember what you were supposed to do for leveling builds. Probably crit, right?
Probably crit.
Stance dancing?
He forgot about stance dancing.
Wait a second. Do I still have to... Calm down. Calm down, Albie. I'm trying to be an Azeroth. That's right, you have to level up.
Look, he forgot about leveling up individual weapons.
Oh, you know what else is big in vanilla? You actually had to use ranged weapons. Using a ranged weapon was actually important.
Which is actually really important for a warrior, to be able to pull mobs at distance, or to be to pull them out so you're not attacking 2 or 3 mobs at once. If you're leveling up an arms warrior or a fury warrior, you know very well that in vanilla, if you get more than one mob, you could easily die. So using your ranged weapon to pull mobs was very advantageous when you're trying to get good pulls.
Well met. Be careful.
What can I do for you?
Wait, this was before stuff was on your mini-map?
And so here you don't have your quest systems that are built into retail WoW now, so you don't see stuff on the mini map saying, hey, go here. Here's where the quest is, So he's going to start talking about Thoughtbot. No, of course you don't have that in vanilla WoW. You have to actually read the quest, and watch. You'll actually start talking about read the quest, which is absolutely hilarious.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I forgot that everyone had to use Thoughtbot. All right, well then let me read my quest for 1 second.
Let me read my quest. So this is something people don't even do. Like even when I play games nowadays, like some of the newer MMOs, a lot of times I don't even read quests because these games, even like Black Desert. Remember Black Desert had the pathing system where you could just look at the map or it would have like a little trail and you could just click on the quest on your, the quest pop up on the right side of your screen. And if you like control clicked it, I can't remember what the keybinds were or something, you would automatically walk towards that objective. You could sit there and drink your soda and have your character automatically riding a horse or walking to where you need to go. And actually there's quite a few other MMOs who have done that. I'm not a fan of that. I do think it's cool. I think it's really super helpful if you do want to like game like all day long and you want to eat and you want to drink. It's really helpful. You can stop, take a drink while your character's actually walking. So I think setting up paths, like setting up a marker and then telling the game, hey, I want to travel to this marker is good. I mean, that I don't have a problem with, but actually auto-pathing to where the quest destination is, I have a problem with that because you shouldn't really know where it is. If you just started playing the game and it says go to Mount such and such, why would you ever know where Mount such and such is unless you happen to be a race that resided in an area that you would have had that natural knowledge of where that mountain was. So there's a lot of things you can talk about with those types of things, and I'll get into that in another video probably.
Classic demo.
Oops.
And remember how to do all these. I'm already waiting.
So here
This
you
is a
see,
mistake.
he just starts going in again.
Super dead. Hamstring. Run. No.
And he just starts dying left
Piece
and
of
right.
shit. I'm already waiting for the hashtag not my vanilla WoW. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. People are gonna nitpick the fuck out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, messenger, this guy's a quest, right? Holy fuck!
Where is?
Where are you
He forgot
going?
about the messenger
You
guy.
slow down? And just the idea of oh my god, there's 3 of them. Run, pony! Oh, you're so dead. Oh no! God damn it!
Here, let's see if it's here.
They take the node. They did. God
Watch
damn
this.
it. I
So
think he's rezzing me.
he's trying to find a
Just
node,
try to die by the.
and he pulls too many and he
node.
dies. He's like, I'm
Shoot,
gonna die by
they
the
take
node.
The node. They did.
But then somebody else took it.
I think he's rezzing me. I'll take this just because it's sweet of him to do it. Oh, thank you. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This shit doesn't happen in WoW nowadays. People don't res you. People don't res you in WoW.
So yeah, again, he dies, and someone actually takes the time to res him. Another thing that happens in Vanilla WoW, for you people who haven't played on Vanilla WoW servers, who didn't play in the original World of Warcraft Vanilla, is people buff you. You just walk around from town to town. People are actually throwing buffs at you because it helps. It reminds me of playing Lineage. Buffing people is a thing, and it really helps. You're going to see that a lot in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen as well. But Classic WoW, like the stuff that Nixie brought up, could be a really big issue. And Classic WoW is going to be a huge hit, in my opinion, if they keep it the way it was. If they leave it the way it was. If you guys go out there and play on Light's Hope server and see how it's set up, there's a few problems with that server, but most of the original stuff is there. But if Blizzard tries to do some shenanigans, which I have about 100% faith that they will try to do, because I think Blizzard is really not in touch with their gaming community as well as they need to be, then I think they could quite possibly really screw it up. And the people like me who really want it to be exactly like it was are gonna basically not play it. They're not going to play it for very long, so excuse me. But yeah, I wanted to just kind of to do a video because I haven't done it in a long time because I've been really busy. But I also wanted to talk about Classic WoW, and I really liked Force's video here. He's a good YouTuber, and if you guys get a chance, go ahead and watch this. It's actually quite enjoyable. I'm going to put up another video here pretty soon of MMO story building. It's the second video of that series. The first video was pretty bad. I was rambling like I tend to do, and I just didn't. It didn't really come across. I didn't get to flesh out the text and what I really want to talk about well enough. I just kind of put it up before it was really ready. So what I did for the second video is I went back and reworked a lot of the stuff from the first video. So it will be the second video of that series of videos, which is MMO Story Mode, which eventually is going to get thrown over to my other channel, which is my World of Warstar channel, which is going to be based on the building for the game that I want to make for World of Warstar. But story building is kind of the first part of trying to come up with the game, the world and the characters and the races and that type of thing. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to cover how I approach it, and I'm hoping to give people ideas on how they can, if they're interested in doing that themselves, giving them some tips, the kind of things that I followed, how I thought about it, how I approached it, like a planned out guide. If this is what I would do if I wanted to make a game from scratch, Anyways, I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.